Happy Chinese New Year, everyone! 恭喜发财，新年快乐! I wish everybody a great year of dog! When it comes to Chinese New Year, there are actually many symbolic items. It's actually too many to name, but here I have some of them. For example, the red pockets and the lucky sign. We'll actually be talking about these a little later, so please stay tuned if you're interested in some freebies. So this is the Chinese lucky sign. Written in the middle is actually the Chinese character Fu, which means good luck. This is the proper way of writing it, but if you look at all the signs that's being handed in China right now, it's always upside down. Why is that? Is that a misprint, as in a printing error? Nope. Actually, it's a play on word, because the word upside down sounds exactly like has arrived in Chinese, so when you hand this sign upside down, it means good luck has arrived. Even though there's a reason behind this particular printing error, not all printing errors are being done on purpose. Sometimes it's actually just because they messed up, they screwed up the printing process. And that, believe it or not, actually happened a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh! Printing process. So today, we're going to look at some of the misprints. So before I show you my misprint collection, let's first talk about what misprints actually are. If you really want to read about it, there's a whole wiki page that is dedicated to Yu-Gi-Oh! Misprints. They talk about malformed printing plates, design error, inspection fail, and so on and so forth. Those are way too complicated for me, so I came up with some simple rules. Here are the 3 golden rules of misprints for Warlord. 1. How to identify them. Well, if the card looks different from how it is supposed to look like, it is a misprint. And 2. How to classify them. Misprints are actually just errors. Asking how many kinds there are is like asking what kind of errors can be made. It is very hard to classify, but I try to group them into 3 categories. 1. Something is wrong with the title. 2. Something is wrong with the picture. And 3. Something else is wrong. Because of the number of cards that I have, today we're going to focus on the first category. And 3. How do you value them? Misprint collection is really a niche market, and the pricing varies greatly. It depends on how rare the base card is, which pack it came from, how large is the printing error, and so on and so forth. So generally, when I try to value these cards, I put them into the following grid. Whether you can find many copies of the exact same printing error or not, and whether the printing mistake is huge or not. I'll keep this grid in the corner here throughout the video, so you can see how I grade my cards. Okay, now let's look at the cards. As I mentioned before, today we're looking at title misprints. Even when we classify down to title, there's still like 1,000 different possible errors. I try my best to group them, but if I screwed up, please just bear with me. And I'll just handhold the camera as there's a lot to go through. If you ever require a more clear photo, I'll be more than happy to send you one if you just send me a message. So first of all, we have our Luster Dragon. This card first came out as Luster Dragon, but was later on renamed to Luster Dragon number 2. It's a very common misprint. But what I did not know is that the Luster Dragon number 1 was also printed as Luster Dragon number 2 at some point. So this one is a little more rare. Here we have the Cypher Soldier, later on named into Kinetic Soldier. And we have the Trial of Hell, that was later on named into the Trial of Nightmare. And we also have this Wolf Axe Fighter, whose name is a little bit partial. It's a very small printing error. And next, we have the title was Rarity Misprints. The most popular one is Gaia the Dragon Champion. This is one of the first secret rare card that was ever released. And the title initially came out as ultra rare, as you can see here, and it was later on fixed into a secret rare title. Funny enough, believe it or not, it is a lot harder to find the normal version than the misprint version. We also have the Dark Spirit of Silence, which was initially printed as a black title, and it was later on fixed into the white title that all the trap cards should be. And then we also have the Premium Gold series, right? This is an emergency teleport. The title is supposed to be Premium Gold Rare, but then due to some reason, some of the cards were actually initially printed with normal rare titles. And I have a few of them that look like this Breakthrough Skill, this Mask Change, this shared right, and this spell shattering arrow. All of them are printed with rare title and then subsequently the premium gold title. And also here on the side, we have the famous rare misprints from Tactical Evolution. What happened was they were supposed to print these titles with rare material, but they ran out of ink. So they printed a whole batch with secret rare titles, trying to fool us, but we did not get fooled. They look pretty cool. You can see the reflection on it. And down here I have a more rare misprint. This is a German version of the Infernal Dragon, but as you can see clearly, the entire title is printed as ultra rare except the last letter, which is actually a secret rare title. Yeah, this is a little bit more rare, which I like a lot. And next we have the very famous, the Elemental Hero Chaos Neo married Rainbow Dragon and had 2 kids. The first one is a Chaos Neo with the wrong title, Rainbow Dragon, and the next one is a Rainbow Dragon with the wrong picture as the Chaos Neo. I know this one down here is not technically a title misprint, but as any misprint collectors will know, these should really go as a set, so I'm not going to separate them. They're going to go together. From a value perspective, this version right here is pretty common, whereas this Technical Evolution Rainbow Dragon is usually a lot more valuable. Goes for a few $100 at a time. And that just naturally leads on into our next topic, the misprint titles. This is one of the most royal screw-up they ever did, and what happened was they printed the entire Dark Beginning 1 set rares with Dark Beginning 2 titles, resulting in a whole set of 30-something misprints. And I have the entire set right here. I will not name each and every one of them because there are simply too many. If you have any questions, just let me know. You can see these are very interesting. I like this a lot, right? It's a Magician of Face with a Sengan title, 2 of the most iconic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Fused together. Yep, that is the whole Dark Beginning 1 set. And next, we have the infamous Metal Raider. You know, this is the Thousand Dragon with the Gaia the Dragon Champion name. And on the right, we have the Gay Guardian with the Trihorn Dragon name. So they're all name misprints. And then beside them, we have the Ice Dragon with the Stealth Union wrong name misprint. And down here, we have one of the most joking and funny name misprints, the Dark Ritual, named as Marshmelon. Okay, now let's step into the foreign language territory. Up here we have a German Horn of Heaven on the left, but with a title of 7-2 of the Band-Aids. And on the right we have the 7-2 with the Horn of Heaven wrong name. These two goes really well as a pair. And here we have, you know, the Frost Monarch, but with an Infernal Blast wrong name from the Italian set. And down here we have the French misprints, right? We have the Ancient Fairy Dragon, wrongly named as the Ancient Sacred Wyvern, and we have the Ancient Sacred Wyvern, wrongly named as the Ancient Fairy Dragon. And we also have this dude, which is also wrongly named as the Ancient Sacred Wyvern. And we have the Immortal named as the Commando, and we have the Commando named as Immortal. These are all in French, which is why I put the original card beside it. It's hard for me to tell if it's actually misprint or not without comparing them. Okay, that kind of summarizes it for the kind of misprints that you can usually find multiple copies of, because they are actually printing errors that were mass released into the markets. Next, we have all these, I would call, one-time or relatively unique printing errors. Up here, we have this entire premium PP01 set, but the title are all either missing or shifted a little bit. You can see they're either missing titles or they are shifted titles, which make this one of the more epic misprint sets ever. And on the right, we have more shifted titles. The title shifting is one of the, I would say, most common misprinting errors there are. So I'm not going to go through them one at a time. But generally speaking, what defines a really good misprint from a really bad one when it comes to title shifting is the degrees of which the title shifts, right? If it goes outside of the title box, great. If it goes onto the picture, even better, right? For example, these ones, the title is pretty off. They're touching the border already, and some letter disappeared, which make them a little bit more valuable than the others. And the other thing is obviously the value of the base card also matters, right? Well, like when you have a Legend of the Blue Eyes first edition Zodiac piece and the title is shifted a little bit, but the card value itself is high enough to make this a valuable card as well. And here are some more pretty heavily shifted titles in all sorts of languages. As you can see, some of these are pretty severe. Generally, if the misprint touches the border, it makes the card a little bit more valuable as well. Like I said, if you guys ever need a photo of any particular card, just send me a private message. I'll be more than happy to provide a photo. Okay, that's it for shifted title. And next we have no titles, right? These are the cards that are simply missing the title completely. And then once again, we're starting with the Premium Ghost 3 series because they had a lot of this kind of error. And when it comes to missing title, as you can see, right, some of the cards actually have the imprints of the printing, while some others just don't even have the imprints on them. Like, for example, this card here has no imprints at all. Here we have some Italian Ottoman rare cards with no title on them. Some super rares with no title. And some rare cards with no title. As you can see, as we get near the end, we have some cards that has a little bit of ink, right? Not completely titleless, but I would say like 80% of the title is gone. So this kind of faces us into the next category. I call these the partial titles. I actually like these even more than the no title misprints because they're a little harder to find on a relative space. And you can see these all have kind of like a strike through the title where a majority part of the cards are actually missing. It looks really, really cool. All missing a part of the title, right? And down here, we have two of the misprints that became a lot popular these days. I saw them on a lot of sources. And these are called the inverted A misprints. They're from the Mega Pack 17. And there's currently two cards known to date, the Zodiac Barrage and the Magician Navigation. As you can see, the A is both missing, but with a little triangle inside, which is why they call them inverted. And down here, we have the masked chameleon, but you can see the M is gone, so the title look more like asked chameleon, which is really cute. I like this card a lot. You might ask, where did the ink go for those cards that has no title? Well, this might give you a clue. This is the over-inked title misprint. As you can see, the title is covered with ink. There's probably like a leakage or spillage when they're printing, so all the ink were gone. As a result, later on the cards has no ink anymore. Next, we have another type of partial title, but this partial title is very different. Some call them double striked title. As you can see, sometimes the titles are striked maybe multiple times or maybe not heavy enough, leaving only the border of the letters showing. You give the title this kind of like a hollow kind of a imprint, which is really cool. This is also very rare, so I like this quite a lot as well. And here we have, a partial title. As you can see, there's some hollowing here and some, ink leakage here as well. That's the so-called double strike. And then on the right side, I have some of my favorite misprints, right? These are kind of like wrong name, but at the same time, they were printed on the wrong side of the card as well. You can see we have them in both English and French language, which means they do this kind of everywhere. There's no title up here, but there is an upside down title down here on each of these cards. These are pretty rare to find, and they are relatively higher on the value scale. And next, we have the even more interesting, right? These are the cards, as you can see, that has a title printed upside down on the back of these cards. The front is actually pretty normal. The front is actually just a it's just a card. Let me see if I can get this out of here. There we go. The front is actually just a card that has no title printed, and these are also from the premium pack number 1, which is why I like to name the premium pack one of the most royally screwed up printing ever. But these upside down title on the back is very hard to find. I have not seen too many of them ever floating in the market, which makes pricing them a little difficult as well. One of my favorites. And now we're moving to the best part of the title misprints, right? We have the double title, right? These are actually cards that have title printed twice on all of them. I have seen a lot of videos where they can actually do a count and then see more than 2 times printing. I think some goes to as high as even 5 times or so printed on the card. I don't have any of those crazy counts, but I love these ones as well. If you have a really cool multi-title card, please share, as I love to see them. Okay, these are the double title with the same title. And then on the right side, it became my absolute favorite. Here we have the Power Giant. But if you look closely, there is also a Tragodia printed on it as well. This is a German misprint. 2 titles, but different title. And next, we have the Solemn Judgment. This is an Italian card, as you can see, but the title is actually printed once in Italian and once in English. You can see Solemn Judgment, and there is another Solomon J something. I don't know how to speak Italian, but this is the same title printed twice on the same card, but in 2 separate languages. And here we have the Evosor Cerrito, but with it's not very obvious, but there's a partial photon veil. You can see the veil part as well on the card. So once again, 1 card, 2 title, 2 different titles. And here we have a Tragodia. I was like, okay, that seems pretty normal. 1 card, 1 name. What's wrong? If you look closely, this is actually an English Tragodia. Everything down here is spelled in English, but if you look at the title has a German spell to it. Right, and then for comparison purposes, I do have an English version they can use to compare. If you look at the 2, down here we have the normal English spelling of Tragodia, and up there we have the German spelling, which is missing the E and has 2 dots on top of the O, making this also a pretty cool, misprint language, I suppose. And here we also have the Magical Cavalry of, Shulab, with another title printed on top of it. It's not very clear. It's hard to make, but you can see that the second title was actually printed and shifted off the board as well, which makes this a double title with a shifting misprint that I like a lot. A second last one is the Big Bang Shot, right? This card actually has a second title printed on it. I cannot make out what it is. If you can, that would be great, but you can see that there's like an E here, there's like another O or B here. Like I do see some letter being printed on top of this Big Bang Shot name, but I don't know what the second name is, but I put them here anyway because I think it's kind of fun. And last but not least, this is a common card, As you can see, there's also already the title printed on there, the Arcania, the Arcana Force 4. But on top of that, there is a rare name of the Lion Sworn Summoner printed on top of it. So this is also a double name misprint. So in the end, I think what's on this page will basically be the price of my wrong name or misprint name collection. I really hope you enjoyed this, and next time we'll be taking a look at some other misprints. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed that. And now the most exciting moment, the red pockets. Since today we're talking about misprints, I figured I'll be giving away some misprints that are related to the Chinese New Year. And the best that I can find is the Zodiac Barrage with the inverted A. I'll be giving away up to 3 copies of this misprint, and if you're interested, please look at the rules. Okay, the rules are pretty simple. First of all, you need to be a subscriber before the draw in order to be eligible. And second of all, you need to post a YouTube comment under the video about your favorite misprint, and this could be from anywhere. I would love to see a photo, but if you don't have one, a description will do. This comment will be your entry into the draw, so you're limited to 1 entry per person. And 3, the deadline for the entry will be March 9th, which is a Friday at midnight Eastern Time. At that point, no future comments will be accepted. At weekend, a video will be posted to show the draw process for fairness, and afterwards, the winners will be contacted privately for mailing information. And the way I determine how many prizes there will be is that since it's the year 2018, up to the first 18 eligible comments will be entered into a random draw for 1 prize card. But if I happen to get more comments, then I'll enter the next 18 eligible comments into a second draw. And if there are even more comments than that, I will finally enter the next 18 comments into a third draw, which means I will be giving away up to
this many.
Okay, that's it. Pretty simple, right? I look forward to hearing from you guys, and may the luck come to you. See you next time.